In every corner of the world, there are rules and regulations that seem to be out of the real world and belong to a land of wonders. From regulations enacted to maintain public order and peace to seemingly unusual cultural and historical laws, each of these laws reflects the characteristics and beliefs of different societies. Let's travel to the world of strange and unusual laws and discover these laws with a curious approach, which, while being strange, tell interesting stories of different cultures and societies. Number 1 at this list will surprise you. Number 10. In the early 1990s, problems such as gum sticking to public furniture, train stations, and elevator doors due to gum chewing were reported. These issues had become major problems, especially in underground train stations, which were used by thousands of people daily. Chewing gum and disposing of it improperly can create problems in urban sanitation and cleanup. The ban has exceptions for therapeutic and medical gums. Violation of this law can result in a fine of up to several hundred Singapore dollars. Number 9. In some Canadian states, certain fish cannot swim or be caught in public waters. The use of certain fishing equipment, such as certain hooks or large nets, is prohibited in some areas. These rules are usually put in place to reduce negative impacts on the environment and fish. Fishing requires a special license and registration. Specific rules about fishing in Canada are put in place to protect water resources and ensure sustainable management of the environment. These laws may seem strange and unusual to some people. Number 8. Nighttime silence rules are usually enforced from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. During these hours, people are expected to completely avoid making any noise. In many areas, these rules are even more strictly enforced on holidays and weekends. Doing activities like vacuuming, washing clothes, hammering nails, moving furniture during the night hours is prohibited. Pet owners, such as dogs, are responsible for ensuring that their animals do not make noise during the quiet hours of the night. Number 7. In Italy, dog owners must walk their dogs at least 3 times a day. This law was passed with the aim of ensuring the welfare and health of pets. If dog owners do not comply with this law, they may face a fine of up to 500 euros. Cutting the ears and tails of dogs unnecessarily is prohibited throughout Italy. Dogs in Italy must be microchipped. It is prohibited to ride dogs on motorcycles, even if they are carried in a basket or with special equipment. Number 6. Buddhist temples in Thailand are known as sacred places, and entering these places should be accompanied by special respect. Taking off your shoes when entering temples shows respect for the sacred site and is part of Buddhist customs around the world. At the entrance to many temples in Thailand, there are clear signs reminding visitors to take off their shoes. If he refuses to remove his shoes, he is usually not allowed to enter the temple. Thanks for sticking with us until now and supporting us with your like and subscription. Number 5. This ban was largely rooted in conservative interpretations of Islamic teachings in Saudi Arabia. According to some clerics, women's driving could lead to the loss of men's control. With the help of the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, major changes in the social and economic spheres the country began. One of these changes was the lifting of the ban on women driving. In September 2017, the Saudi government announced that the ban on driving for women would be lifted in June 2018. Number 4. In the state of Victoria, Australia, there was a law that prohibited unauthorized persons from changing light bulbs. Its main purpose was to ensure that only people with the proper skills and licenses perform electrical work in order to reduce the risk of electrocution. This law was widely criticized by the public and the media. Over time, this law was amended, and currently changing light bulbs no longer requires a permit. Number 3. In France, it is forbidden to name animals, especially pigs, with the name Napoleon. Napoleon Bonaparte is one of the most important and prominent figures in French history. One of the reasons for the popularity of this law is its mention in the novel Animal Farm, written by George Orwell. In this novel, a pig named Napoleon is introduced as one of the main characters who takes the leadership of the animal revolution. Number 2. In my opinion, Italy is a real supporter of animals. In Italy, there is a law that prohibits keeping goldfish in round glass tanks. Italian legislators believe that round tanks are not suitable for keeping fish. Round glass tanks usually have a low water level, resulting in a lack of oxygen in the water. After this law was enacted, many people were forced to choose other ways to keep their fish. Instead of using round tanks, it is now more common to use rectangular aquariums that provide more space for fish to move and live. Number 1. Now we have reached number 1, which is the strangest and most interesting rule in our list. The law banning death in the English Parliament is one of the strangest yet most symbolic laws in the world. It is said that if someone dies in the English Parliament because the Parliament is a royal place, that person should officially receive a royal funeral. This legend stems from the belief that death in places belonging to the throne is considered a special and important matter. For this reason, some believe that to prevent such a complicated situation from occurring, death in Parliament is illegal. It has been announced. This law is often mentioned in lists of world's strangest laws, although it has no legal basis in reality.